The Viltrox 28mm F4.5 is an extremely thin, full-frame autofocus lens for the Sony E Mount. This tiny pancake lens has a bunch of hype, but is it good? Is it just a gimmick? And should you buy it? Let's start with the specs, and the biggest advantage is certainly its size. At an advertised weight of only 60 grams and a length of 15.3 millimeters, it is the lightest, thinnest autofocus lens on the market. This thing's incredibly thin. It is only 8.3 millimeters longer than the basic camera cap. After using this lens, I can tell you the most important feature is its internal lens cover. By integrating the lens cover into the lens, they are saving 7 millimeters, decreasing the functional length of this lens by 46%. And the best part is you don't have to hold on to the lens cap or worry about losing it while shooting. To have autofocus on a full-frame lens this size is game-changing, but I do think the full potential of this lens is on APS-C crop sensor cameras, especially the Sony a6000. This combination is one of the most compact photo setups achievable. It is a minimalist stream, but it does have its drawbacks. It trades a small profile for a fixed 4.5 aperture, so low-light photography or dreamy bokeh-filled portraits are not in the cards for this lens. It can also be a bit finicky. I had some trouble at times with the a6000 recognizing the lens or even freezing up the camera completely. But typically turning it off and back on again has solved the problem. I haven't had the same issue when using it on my Sony a6700. Has anyone else had this problem, or is it just me? If so, let me know in the comments. With how thin this lens is, the entire lens group moves back and forth to focus the lens. When the lens cap is closed, it locks the lens group to the back, which actually extends past the housing of the lens. So do not set it on a table without the screw-on back lens cap, or you'll risk damaging the lens. On their Indiegogo page for the lens, Viltrox posted a warning to customers to make sure they always have the lens cap switch open when turning on their cameras with this lens attached. The posting reads, "The entire lens group moves back and forth to focus. In addition to protecting the lens cap also helps fix the focusing group. If the camera is powered on without removing the lens cap, the body will attempt to calibrate the focus travel, which may cause potential anomalies. It is important to note that while this action may not immediately damage the lens, there is a potential risk involved." What this means is when you turn on your Sony camera, it tells the lens to turn on the focus motors, which you can see in this clip. But if you have the mechanical switch set to lock the focus group and prevent it from moving back and forth, it could potentially cause issues over time. So always have the lens cover open before turning on your camera with this lens. This is a unique lens, and compromises need to be made to produce a pocket lens this small. But it still produces good quality images. Is it as sharp as a top quality lens like the Sigma 30mm f1.4? No, but it's also a third of the price. It is a little softer in the corners, but if pixel peeping those kind of differences is going to make or break your decision, you probably shouldn't have been considering this lens for your needs to begin with. It also has noticeable vignetting, but that can be easily fixed using lens corrections in Adobe Lightroom. Is it a top quality lens? No. So why would you buy it? It's perfect if you're leaving the house and you want to put a camera in your pocket or drop it in a purse or small bag to take a few photos. It can even replace your lens cap when packing your camera. That way, you're always seconds away from snapping photos. Now, if you're just getting into photography, this should not be your first lens. I cannot stress this enough. Not being able to change the aperture is a major deal breaker if you are just starting to learn how to use interchangeable lens cameras. And this shouldn't even be your only lens that covers the 24mm to 30mm range. It's a gimmick, and if you're into it, it's a great gimmick. I really like this lens. I'm going to bring my camera out way more if I can fit it with an a6000 in a pocket. And there's no reason to not consider it as a body cap replacement when packing my camera bag. I'm not going to bring it out on any paid shoots or walkabouts where photography is my main mission, but it's a cool little lens, and for $99, it's a good value. So what do you think? Do you already have this lens? Are you thinking of getting it? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.